My host mom's name was Marta. She immediately welcomed me into her house like I was a family member. She fed me a lot. She gave me extra clothes to wear. She even bought me a new bed when mine broke. She was so unbelievably generous. The best quality food that I had, it was my host mom's birthday, and she really loved to treat herself just constantly. We ended up getting, I think, 4 courses of food, at least 4 bottles of wine. Like, she was not shy about asking for more on her birthday. The pasta in this restaurant was out of this world. Like, the Italian influence that is so strong in Buenos Aires really came out. It was hands down the best gnocchis I've ever had. We talked a lot about what I was studying and how it related to the political context in Argentina. We delved into some really deep issues. We talked a lot about her love life, my love life, how important it was to embrace your womanhood. I've always felt comfortable. I never felt like my home was not a space that I could be myself. She still comments on like my Facebook photos and stuff. She's really adorable about that. In my experience, being a woman in Buenos Aires was the biggest challenge. What was really difficult for me was it didn't matter where I was going, what I was wearing, who I was with, or what time of day, I would get catcalled on the street. I was baffled, and I was also really scared because I was living in a neighborhood that was known for its insecurity. There's a lot of crime. It was not considered to be a neighborhood where tourists should live, ever. I complained nonstop to my program directors. I would say, I'm so mad about this, I'm really upset, and they would say, okay, good, be upset, and channel that into something else. I ended up getting the opportunity to do an independent research study on the political stigmatization of the voluntary female sex workers in Buenos Aires. It happened that the street I was living on sort of sparked my interest because it was considered the capital of sex work in Buenos Aires. To see these women, working at 2 a.m, 4 a.m. on the corners of the streets, it was not something I was used to. So I was able to take this idea that being a woman in Latin America is a huge challenge and break that down into a smaller category, a smaller niche. While being a woman in Buenos Aires was definitely the most difficult part of my abroad experience, it was a blessing in disguise, even if it made me furious while I was going through it. I picked this up pretty quickly when talking with the locals. They would always say if they liked you or they liked something, they would say you were de buena onda. And I didn't really know what that meant. The word buena's in there, so it must be a good thing. Then I had my host mom describe it to me, and she's like, oh, it means you have great energy. It means you have great vibes, and that you're connecting with someone. I honestly can't really think of a better way to describe my abroad experience than in that phrase. It was something that I just felt the whole time, and saying something was de buena onda was the equivalent of being like, this is mine, I own it. It means something to me. It means something very special to me, and that was something that I really loved.